Hello! In this part, we are going to create custom iterable. If you are not familiar with Iterable, then watch my video on Iterable and Iterator using the link in the description below. First, let's look at why we need custom iterable. If a type is iterable, then we can use constructs like for/of, spread operator, and other constructs that supports iterable to enumerate the values it produces. If you're creating a type that is going to be used as a data source, then it is a good idea to make the type iterable so the consumers of the type can use constructs like for/of and others. We know that iterable implements a factory method called symbol.iterator that returns iterator, and the iterator is a pointer to next value. Let's see what we can do if we just make our type iterator. We will create a class called odd numbers with some odd numbers in its internal data store. Next, we'll make it an iterator by implementing iterator interface. We need something to track what should be the next value from this iterator. So we will create a variable called current that points to the index of next value in the internal store and assign value 0. Now we'll write the logic for next method. If the current is less than total items in the internal data store, then we'll return the value at current index as iterator result with done flag set to false to indicate that there are more items available in this iterator. We'll also increment the current index to move the pointer to next value. Okay, now we are ready to create an object and start calling next method to get values from the iterator. Let's print the value. It will return iterator result with value 1 and done flag set to false. As you can see here, let's get the next 3 values and print them. For the first 3, we see values 1, 3 and 5 and done flag set to false. But for the last one, done flag will be true and value will be undefined. Great, it works. What's the problem with this? Okay, there are few problems. The first one is iterator is tightly bound to the instance of the class, and also you cannot restart the iterator. And every time you need a new iterator, you need to create a new instance. And also you cannot use this in a for/of loop because for/of loop needs iterable, not just iterator. Okay, we'll try creating iterable by implementing iterable interface. Iterable should have symbol.iterator method and that should return iterator object. Let's create that. The factory method resets the current index to 0 and returns an object that has next method. We then create a private method called _next and assign that to the next method of the iterator. We use bind function to fix the reference of this operator to current object. This will allow _next method to access properties of current object regardless of who calls it. Now implement the _next method like we did with iterator earlier. Let's create an object and print them using for/of loop. This is possible because our object is iterable now. We can also get the instance of an iterator and print the values. We cannot use for/of with this iterator because it's just iterator. This is fine, but we cannot pause and resume the iterator. This prints the value 1 twice. As you can see here, why this is not working? It is not working because for/of calls symbol.iterator factory method to get the next instance of iterator. The new instance of iterator resets the current index to 0. What do we need to fix this? We need a way to provide same instance of iterator to the second for/of as well. So the second for/of continues with the same iterator used in the first one. How do we do that now? We use iterable iterator. Let's make our class compatible with iterable iterator interface. We implement symbol.factory method that returns iterable iterator. The symbol.iterator factory method will be null initially. We implement the next function like we did for the other 2 scenarios earlier. Now, we update the symbol.iterator factory method to return the same iterator that contains the factory method. Then finally, return the iterable iterator from the main factory method. That's it. If we get an iterator from the instance of odd numbers class, then we can pause and resume that. As you can see here, the second for/of continues where the previous one stopped. This is possible because the iterator from odd numbers object is iterable iterator that returns itself when symbol.iterator factory method init is called. As you can see here, both iterators are same. Let's look at how return method that is part of iterator works. We will first add return method to the iterator that prints something to the console and returns iterator result indicating iterator completion. Return method is used to do any cleanups when the iterator completes prematurely. For will call the return method when it completes prematurely. If I run this, you can see that return method is called, but the iterator still continues. This is because we are not doing any cleanup in the return method. If I change the return method to reset current value to 0, then the second for loop will start printing from 1. As you can see here. Another thing to note is the return method must return valid iterator result. Otherwise, the for will throw exception. Let me change the return method to return null and see what happens. As you can see here, it throws exception. Many known iterables, including array, doesn't implement return method, and this is why we can pause and resume the iterator created for array. As you can see here, the return method in the iterator of array is not defined. Okay, that's it for now. Hope this video is useful. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.